What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So everybody has been asking me what this new lethality stat means for AD carries. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry, but I have no idea. And if the armor pen builds are dead, I did a bit of digging and I think you guys are going to be surprised. This is obviously just my opinion and my best guesses, but let's see what you guys think in the comments. The timestamps are going to be down below, but we're going to go over what lethality is and how it works with AD carries, the new items, and also then into each champion I think it'll be amazing on. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about or how it works, an armor pen is being replaced by a stat called lethality. It's still armor pen, but it works differently now. Here is the math side of it if you're into that, but basically what it's going to mean is 20 lethality is 20 armor pen at level 18 now when you're hitting someone who is level 18. Just by the way as well, the actual scaling of it depends on who you are attacking and their level, not actually your level. So 40% of the lethality stat is always going to be there in the game no matter what. The other 60% of it though scales with the enemy's level that you're hitting. In really simple terms, basically if you have 20 lethality, it's only 20 armor pen when you're hitting a level 18. At lower levels, it's going to be less armor pen. It really means that assassins aren't going to be burning through your armor as much early, but they still will be later into the game. Now, in my opinion, this was a really clever way to do it, but what about for AD carries? Right now, armor pen is so good because it boosts an AD carry's power early rather than needing items to ramp up like a normal build, like a crit build. That is why people bought it so much, it does more damage early with abilities ignoring armor. Now, it's going to be a much more normal curve throughout the game, meaning even stacking lethality early won't be as strong as armor pen is right now, but it does get better as you go into the game. AD carries are scaling champions naturally anyway, that is how they are designed, so in theory for ability based ADs this actually still works just fine. It would mean that you won't be as strong in the lane phase as now, but as games carry on it basically does the same job as it would do. Sadly, this might actually turn into who can burst who the quickest, which is kind of a dumb way to do it. Assassins are going to have a lot of damage still and tools to kill you, but I kind of think it might be who kills who faster, which is sad. Anyway, I think that Misfortune, Jin, Lucian, Sivir, and Twitch are going to be the ones who use these the most. A lot of champions could use them, but these are probably going to be the best ones at the moment. To explain that though, we have to go over the new items first. So the Dustblade has the AD slightly lower out of combat movement speed though, 20 lethality, and after being unseen, which is Twitch or bushes, basic attack still 50 plus 200% lethality true damage. Ghostblade is cheaper, it's got 20 lethality now, no attack speed though on the active anymore, and a new item Edge of Night, which is 3100 gold, 60 AD, 35 magic resist, 20 lethality, and the active is you channel for 1.5 seconds, but you get a spell shield after that which lasts for 10 seconds on a 30-second cooldown. By the way as well, more does not give you armor pen or lethality anymore. It gives slightly less AD, more magic resist, but 10% cooldown reduction, and the life grip gives life steal, spell vamp, and 20 AD now. To give you an idea though, if we put it together, Dustblade, Ghostblade, Edge of Night would be 185 AD, 60 lethality, and the extra stuff you get 60 out of combat move speed, 35 magic resist, a spell shield, true sight, move speed active with the Ghostblade. Remember as well, Dustblade does 200% of lethality as true damage extra with the passive too. That is going to add a lot of damage on an auto attack. That is a lot of damage for abilities, for autos. If you round that out with something like a Bloodthirster, then you've got yourself a full AD monster. This is really why I think it could be so strong. If you stack them together, you're still basically doing the same job, but you'll carry on doing it throughout the entire game. It might not be as good early, but it'll still be just as good later. What about for the specific champions I said though, because I did say I think some of these are going to be better than others. For Twitch, I think maybe we can have more of an assassin role on here now. It's actually the one I'm most excited for. With the Dustblade, it's unseen, you get the passive now, and you have that with your stealth, even more burst at the start of a fight, which is awesome. Edge of Night as well, after you get that is a channel, right? You use it and then you stealth afterwards towards the team for a spell shield when you open up or in case you get caught. Basically, if you throw everything together, right, you have a Twitcher while having a spell shield on and your first auto does even more damage. How do you actually stop him when he does that? That seems kind of overpowered to me. If they fire any crowd control at you to stop you, you're going to absorb it with a spell shield and carry on firing anyway. Really, how do you stop him? Plus, it does scale into late game now as well with his team fight. That doesn't seem like a bad thing to me considering how good his team fight actually is. Misfortune is the second one because it's kind of obvious, but her AD scalings are ridiculous anyway. Her ultimate, her love tap, her Q, they're all really good with lethality. The love tap plus Dustblade passive is actually so overpowered. The combination between the two of them is going to be a crazy amount of damage from just one auto attack. Your ultimate will benefit from all the stats in the build as well, so would your Q. Basically the same as how she is now, I think, but probably more burst with that dumb Dustblade passive. I say it's kind of dumb because honestly, like if you just auto attack once, you're going to do a lot of damage at the very start of it. I know Miss Fortune is mainly about her ultimate. She'll still do loads of damage with it anyway. But when someone gets close to her, she's actually going to do a ton of burst with just one auto attack as well, which is probably going to make her nastier. Jin is the other one who is super popular right now. And I think you could either do this build or actually probably a mix of like this build and crit. So maybe you could get like 1 or 2 items with lethality on it and then a crit build after would be pretty awesome. I think the Dustblade proc and a crit would be overpowered. Imagine if you stack up these shots onto just minions and then you use your 4th crit shot plus the Dustblade passive and the crit damage and everything else like onto someone. That is going to be an insane amount of damage. You're also going to scale as the game goes on. You're not as strong early, but you stay relevant easier later, I think. And that's probably a good thing because right now, like he's very early focused. I think your autos are going to be more important. They'll be more relevant. You actually have to use them in team fights more than just like your ultimate or your W now, but that's still going to do a lot. That is my guess. So what about Lucian and Sivir though? Because like Ghostblade and Black Cleaver will still be strong in my opinion as a combination. You could build purely for ult damage and abilities like full arm pen now. The problem with that before, like why we don't see that build on those two is because it falls off really hard. It might not fall off as hard though with Dustblade and some crit at the end as well. Basically, it would let you do more mid game, I think, while still doing a lot later as well. And that's ideally kind of what you want from an AD carry. Like this is just a maybe though. Crit build, of course, is going to still be good for both of them. With the Dustblade though, I'm just thinking about that. You might be able to just nuke people super hard. Lucian with his passive, you can open up with like your ultimate first, get them kind of low, and then your Dustblade will just finish them off. Plus your abilities are going to do a lot of damage with lethality as well. Sivir, you could do like auto reset and bounces with the Dustblade passive and with like so much AD and armor pen or the lethality stat. That is going to do a lot of damage. Anyway, these are just my opinions on the lethality stat and how it's going to impact the meta for AD carries moving forward into the preseason. I'm going to have some nailed down builds where I test this on the PBE, but that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of it, but for now, let's go to the robots.